Hey everyone, welcome back to PokeMarketLab. We are doing a bit of a Q&A video today. I put a poll out there asking for some questions, and I thought it'd be interesting to see what kind of questions we got and see if I could give you some answers. But first, I wanted to thank you. We just crossed 1,000 subscribers. I think it was Friday night this weekend, and I am shocked. That's 1,000 subscribers in about 30 days. I thought that would take a year, never mind a bit over a month. And I've just been blown away by the positivity in the community. 99.9% of the comments have been fantastic. I didn't set out to really, I didn't want to make a hype channel. There's plenty of those out there, plenty of those with, clickbait titles and everything. And there's a space for that. And that's great content. But I wanted to provide more of a channel for an investing channel for the adults in the room, if that kind of makes sense. Just having conversation around this hobby that we love, not trying to hype things up. If that means less views, that means less views. But I think it seems like there's a niche for that, right? Or otherwise we wouldn't have 1,000 subscribers. So huge thanks to everyone who subbed, who's turned on notifications, who's liked videos, who's commented. The positivity's just been fantastic. So I appreciate that. So let's get into a few of your questions. We had some interesting questions here, and I think this is something we'll do again in the future as the channel does grow. And so let's get into our first one here. What is your favorite card in your collection? Is there one you are actively chasing? So my the biggest pull I've had, the one that I've loved, has been this Pikachu SIR from Surging Sparks. I've just blown away. It was a random ETB. And this is one I was on the fence about selling or keeping. At the time, I think it was going for about $500 on TCG Player, but this one's staying in the collection. Beautiful card, a little off center, so I don't think it's gradable. I think I'm just going to hold on to it, but absolutely awesome card. I almost gave these packs to my kids to open, and it would have been wild to see them open a $500 card that I could have had. So, but no, it's this one's good for the collection, so I love it. And that one was from Kelly Rodriguez. Again, thank you for the positive content, the positive comment there. And this one is from Ethan Barton here. Ethan's always commenting on my videos. Much appreciated, Ethan. How much do you rip? What does your collection look like? I try to rip something from every set. Typically that's an ETB. So what I'll typically do, every set comes out on a Friday, is I'll pre-order at GameStop, and I will pick it up on the way home from work and then crack it with the kids. Usually give them a couple packs. I give myself a couple packs, and we'll crack an ETB, maybe two. I did two for Surging Sparks and a booster bundle. So it just depends on the set if I'm really, liking or digging the set. So, and then that's typically it. If it's a really hot set, like a Surging Sparks, I'll pick up a second ETB or booster bundles, kind of more like an emotional purchase on, when I'm in line or something like that at Target. I don't typically crack booster boxes. That's just, those are kind of for the collection. Those are for investing long term. So I don't typically go into booster boxes. It's been a long time since I ripped a booster box. Do you think there's a premium for modern cases versus individual boxes? We were talking about ETBs and booster boxes only. I'm asking because cases don't display very well. So sometimes I open a case so I can display a box that's inside the case. Thank you for your content. And that one is from Vincent there. I honestly don't know. I've never really looked at cases versus boxes. I typically buy, I'm not a massive investor. I'm not like Rudy or anything like that. So I'm not usually buying by the case. I'm not buying case after case after case. I very truly believe in diversification in my investments. That means diversification in other asset classes, including stocks, bonds, mutual funds, all that stuff, as well as Pokemon. And that also means sets inside of Pokemon. So I try not to go too deep on any specific product. I've been burned before. I've gone very deep in a product that I thought was going to do extremely, extremely well. It checked all of my boxes and then just get burned by a massive print run. And then I got a bunch of boxes that I can't turn and burn at all. And I'm sitting on them for a long period of time. They're still good products. They'll still go up in value, but there's some opportunity costs where I could have allocated that capital towards something else, some other product. So again, I do try to diversify as much as I can. Every dollar I spend on product now is a dollar I'm not going to have available for something else that comes up. And that's not just a set. That could be a deal that's coming up. We have Black Friday coming up next week. It could be any number of things. So that opportunity cost is always in the back of my mind. And we always have to be careful about, we're eating into we don't want to spend money that we don't have either. So there's that part too. So I don't typically buy cases. So for instance, on Surging Sparks, I went in, I spread my purchasing out between multiple different areas. So that's multiple different vendors online. I have a couple services I subscribe to every month that give me a little bit of distribution access as well. We were allocated there, so it's not like I could just ask for case after case after case. So I diversified what I purchased, knowing that there was a potential for cancellations. Also, just I couldn't get any significant numbers from anywhere. So that worked out well. I didn't get any cancellations, but I've been there before. Everything that I'm talking about with everyone here online, all this experience, this advice, it all comes from me making mistakes in the past, right? I'm not some smart guy that just figured all this stuff out on my own. It's my mistakes that I'm hopefully passing on to everyone else, so you don't make the same mistakes. I've been doing this for a little bit here, and cancellations are you may have heard of that happening in Surging Sparks, right? Places selling for $100 a pop on booster boxes, and then they see the price start running up, so they cancel, and they risk essentially their store reputation to try to get some more money per box, which is, from a reputation standpoint, that's pretty terrible. I mean, if any stores have ever done that to me, I'm never buying from you again, and I'm telling everyone I know not to buy from you again. I understand why. I mean, it could be, let's put it this way. A lot of people glorify starting your own Pokemon business to buy and sell product online without a local game store, okay? I would love to do it. It's not easy. It seems glorified right now because they're making money, but they go for long periods of time without making money. And there's a lot of other things that they don't talk about. All the other product that distro makes them take, all these other products that don't move well, the premium collections, tins, and things of that nature that are printed into oblivion. Distro doesn't want to get stuck with them, so they tell you, hey, you want those really good booster boxes of Surging Sparks? Well, number one, the Surging Sparks booster boxes aren't going to be $100 a pop anymore, and you got to take all this other crap. No one ever talks about that. And it is the reality of doing business with distribution. If you're a big whale, yeah, you get better access to stuff, but it takes a long time, not years, many, many years to get to that point. So sorry for the tangent there, but short of the answer is I don't know if there's a premium for cases. I don't really buy cases. I do like to display and look at my collection from time to time. So I'm not a real big sealed case guy. I've got a couple cases, but nothing crazy. So thank you for the comment. More squats, more thoughts. I should not have said that, but I said it. I did not read it before saying it, whatever. What are your thoughts on Japanese versus English cards? Oftentimes, the Japanese cards are higher quality and finish. Sometimes they don't fetch as much money either, raw or graded, but not always. Just wondering your perspective. Thank you for the comment. I do not do much investing in Japanese. It seems like it's a whole different competency of understanding and experience needed to navigate that market. It seems like, I see Facebook posts with just random people in Japan selling hundreds upon hundreds of boxes. Like they say they have the best price. It just seems like it would be open hunting season for scammers. And I don't understand the market enough. I do have some 151 and some V-Star Universe Japanese. My core tenet of buy what I know, buy what I like, still holds true for Japanese. I don't understand it, and I don't love it. I don't love it because it's not because it's Japanese, but just because it doesn't speak to me. There's no nostalgia there, and I think that's true of the greater Pokemon market, right? I mean, how many more people? I don't have data. I don't have any data on this, but how many more people are buying, like kids and adults buying and opening, cracking packs with kids? How much more of that is happening for the English market than Japanese? And I think I don't need data to tell me that. I know what's happening way more for English. And for long term, I want that IP and that nostalgia that surrounds this collectible, in that you don't have that. I don't know if that happens for Japanese. I just don't know. It seems like a speculative market. It seems like a bubble. We saw this with V-Star Universe. What happened? It went up. It was a beautiful set, beautiful cards. Can't deny that. But it went up. They printed the crap out of it, and it's been slow to go anywhere. And my concern is there's all speculators and investors. And so I just don't touch it. Again, with Pokemon, I know that, and Pokemon English, I know that's happening. I know there's speculators and investors, but I also have seen in person with my own two eyes, regular Joe Schmo open boxes with their kids buying on release day. they're not investors, they're not speculators, they're just people who love the product, and that's important to keep what we have going long term. So I don't really mess with Japanese is the long and short of it. Nezumiku6641, there is a popular trend right now in the space of a credibility check, aka showing your skin if you in the game, aka showing the skin you have in the game of Pokemon investing. Would you do one? I'd love to. I think it goes against one of my core tenets. I talked about this in the Pokemon 101 Pokemon Investing 101 video on risk. OPSEC, or operational security, when you are collecting something physical, is of the utmost importance. I've seen these videos. I've seen them from obviously Rudy does them all the time. Nostalgianomics just did one the other day, and I think it's at the end of the day, it's gloating. That's all it is. It's not a credibility check. You guys can take my advice. You cannot take my advice. I hope you make up your own decision about everything that you do in this hobby. You don't just listen to someone online. And the fact that they have warehouses full of this stuff does not give them any more credibility than anyone else. And I think that posting how much product you have that you physically store, especially when you're registered as a business, is a huge mistake. That opens you up. That opens you up to theft. Would you sit there? Would you sit in front of if you had a safe full of gold, would you take pictures of yourself in front of it and post it online? I mean, you're just opening your up to a social engineering hack. You're opening yourself up to a smash and grab. I don't care how secure you think your stuff is. You are owning a physical asset versus owning a stock or a bond that is locked. They're very easy to keep that locked up behind account security. So I think that's a huge mistake. I would love to show you my collection. I'll show you maybe a couple pictures here and there. I am not showing me in front of my collection. I think that is a huge mistake. I think that is just yeah, that's not for me. I'm not here to gloat. You can take my advice. You cannot. I hope you take everyone's advice with a grain of salt, especially when they're online gloating about, pallets and pallets of stuff. That doesn't lend any credibility to me. And, how someone presents themselves, does the information make sense? You should really be making sure you form your own opinion about everything, about how much money to spend, about what to buy. Is the product good? Do you think it's good? Keep your ear to the ground. Do other people think it's good on Pokemon investing discords, on Pokemon spaces on Facebook? Do people think it's a good product? Make your own decision. These are hype people that are trying to get views from you. Remember that at the end of the day, I'm trying to get views from you. I just hope I can give you something in the trade of your time that you give me, that you entrust to me. That you can actually get some information, and it's not even direct information. I hope it links a couple neurons in your brain, and you come up with a better way of understanding and thinking about and forming your own decisions about things in the future. That's what I want you to get. Not, hey, go buy this crap, or this is cheap, or this is cheap. It's let's look at the data, let's formulate opinions, let's be adults. If that means less views in the channel, that's it. So thank you for the question. Okay, Kelly Rodriguez, so I think it's a second question from her. As someone who's just gotten collecting Pokemon, what are some of the best ways I can progress my collection? That is a great question. I think a lot of it's going to come down to how much money you can spend. I have a video about this, about how much capital to allocate. Just be very careful. This is a hobby. This is hobby investing. That means you're gonna miss out. FOMO is extremely dangerous in this because of just what I just talked about with the hype cycle and people hyping things up, and it just creates this frenzy. So be very careful of that. If your funds are tight, I would definitely, there's some premium collections in ETBs from specialty sets that are good to go after, that you can sock away. But yeah, start with my I have a couple of videos out about Pokemon investing and collecting 101. I got a couple other videos to do, but those are a great place to start. And it really just comes down to how much money you can spend. If you can afford booster boxes, especially close to $100 a pop before they release, or even some of the better ones from Scarlet and Violet that are still close to $100. That's a great way. That's kind of the ETF, the mutual fund of the Pokemon investing world. That's the blue chip stock. So those are always the way to go. Just be careful about what you buy and when you buy it in terms of cost. Is that cost, if you go to TCG Player and it's run up in terms of cost recently. Maybe we don't want to chase that. Maybe we want to look at something that's got some better opportunity in the future. It hasn't run up in cost yet. It's closer to that $100 mark, though those are quickly disappearing. So Erica 1898, what's your most prized Pokemon related item you have? That's a tough one. I would think it's probably some of the cards my kids have, because there's some experience and nostalgia with opening the product when they crack something that's not necessarily expensive, but just we're doing it together. That's the important thing. That's what's great about this hobby is, and I think we lose sight of that so much when we're talking about numbers and data. And yeah, we have to talk about that when we're allocating our money towards something that we hope grows. But this is everything that we have in this industry, in this hobby, is derived from kids, maybe their parents, maybe their friends, sitting and cracking packs and maybe playing the game. And it's such a special thing. It's one of the few things as my kids get older that we still kind of love. And there's just nothing better than seeing one of my kids crack something awesome. Everyone starts yelling and saying, "Oh yeah, that's great. We pulled an awesome card. It looks beautiful." And they sleeve it. They put it into the binder. My son just had a birthday party this weekend that he went to. They were cracking packs and just chasing awesome cards. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. And we need to make sure we're not losing sight of that. And I think I think from an investment standpoint, if you're not experiencing that, you're not loving it in that way, what are you doing? Like, you're just looking at numbers. Like, if you're going to do that, just go buy stocks at the end of the day. Just become soulless at some point. That's not what I want. So, Quantum Kai, Sam's Club and Costco have some really nice products. Have you invested? If so, what is your favorite and best investment? I think the only Costco or Sam's Club product I have is a couple of heavy hitters collections. Some of the original that still had Evolving Skies, and they're massive. I don't have any Sam's Clubs or Costco super close by, so it's kind of the pain. I kind of have to buy online. I don't have memberships there because I don't buy enough, so I end up paying a premium. But again, I do have a couple heavy hitters collections. They're just so big. They're massive, but they're cool. They're good to look at. And I think they'll hold up well long term. It's just a matter, whenever I do liquidate and sell them, it's going to be a pain to ship them. So I'm going to keep that in mind in terms of profit margins and things like that. So. All right, so that's it for the Q&A video. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of interesting, some cool questions. Hopefully we get some more next time I do this. Probably do this in another month or so. I got a special prize for anyone who had a comment featured in this video. Go ahead and email me at PokeMarketLab@gmail.com. I got some really cool holographic stickers coming in I had made, kind of a test run for the channel with that PokeMarketLab logo. So I will send one out in the mail for you. If you send me some info, your name and your address to PokeMarketLab@gmail.com. Make sure you reference your username that you left, that you used to comment on my video here on the post. And I will be sure to get a sticker out to you. They're coming in this week, so it's going to take a couple weeks to get to you, but no cost, of course, on your end. I'll take care of all that myself. So again, thank you so much for the 1,000 subscribers. I hope that means just people are enjoying the content. Again, the hope is that this is just less hype, just more reason and logic and thought here, and really just coming together as a community and enjoying it. And that's something that I think we lose sight of, is really enjoying the hobby, and just whether that's cracking, whether that's looking at our collection. I open my closet all the time and just look at my collection and see all the boxes, and I remember I got this one for a steal and that one for a steal, and that that's part of the fun, is getting these awesome products at cool prices and sitting on them for a long period of time. So that's all I got for today. Thank you again. We will see you on the next one.